Fortnite Chapter 5 Season 1 Underground is almost at an end, and with the release of its final update, version 28.30, Valeria's search for Pandora's box has come to an end, and the island's fate is now in grave danger. Throughout this season, Jones was determined to save his best buddy Peely from the clutches of the Society. The kidnapping of the banana formulated by the faction to distract and bait Jones for something they sought from him. All the while, Valeria, the most powerful and formidable boss of the Society, was seeking an ancient artifact illustrated in a book she was studying at her office in Reckless Railways. This ancient artifact being a box, most notably known as Pandora's box. In the midst of her search, the Underground, the rebellious faction founded by Valeria's sister Hope, is preparing to dismantle and destroy the Society once and for all. And whilst the rebellion grows stronger, the Society has been plunged into chaos due to the infighting taking place between all the bosses except for Valeria, who we discover is far more cold-hearted than we had initially believed. Instead of maintaining order and leading the faction, it turns out Valeria only joined the Society to gain more knowledge to assist her in her search for Pandora's box. Showing no care for the faction, she immediately abandoned it as soon as she discovered the possible location of the relic she was hunting for. With the Society at its most vulnerable state, Jones and Hope seize the opportunity and infiltrate the faction with the help of the Underground to save Peely and tear apart the already faltering Society permanently. Meanwhile, an enigmatic character has arrived on the island named ODYSSEY, an ageless spirit and traveler who has noticed an ancient power growing within the island and is keen on discovering the hidden message behind the mysterious Mosaic. According to ODYSSEY, the Mosaic bears a warning related to the Titan's hand that has recently emerged on the island near ruined reels. Although the warning itself is not about the hand, but rather what's chained to it, that being Pandora's box. It foretells the fate of the island after the evils contained within the cursed artifact escape. Alongside the warning of the Mosaic, 4 murals can be seen on the front of Pandora's box, those murals further confirming that next season will be based around Greek mythology. Lastly, when interacting with the ODYSSEY NPC, we discovered that she has secret dialogue with Hope and Valeria. In the dialogue between them, she reveals their destinies and alludes to a possible prophecy about Hope, paving the way for her questions such as what happened to the Society, who is ODYSSEY, what is the Mosaic, what is inside Pandora's box, and what should we expect in Fortnite Season 2. There are a great many things to discuss, so sit back, relax, and let's unearth the ancient secrets from a long gone past. To start things off, let's begin with a summary of the Takedown the Society quest that also goes together with our first question. What happened with the Society? Since the beginning of the season, Jones and Hope had decided to work together, mutually benefiting one another. Taking down the Society and saving Peely were two extraordinarily difficult tasks. That's because Peely kept on getting transferred from one location to the other, and the Society's bosses were united as one, maintaining order on the island. We learned from Jones that the Society, more specifically Valeria, were attempting to use Peely as a bargaining tool to use Jones and gain his knowledge of the past. However, Jones refused to give the Society what they wanted and persisted in his rescue mission of Peely. Knowing that Jones won't waver and give up his knowledge, Valeria likely grew impatient and decided to finally set out on her own journey and search for the mysterious artifact sketched on her book, that artifact being Pandora's box. It can be inferred that Valeria grew impatient because when you compare Pandora from Greek mythology to Valeria, they have uncanny similarities. One of those similarities being that Pandora constantly had a craving for knowledge because of Zeus bestowing her the characteristic of curiosity. And according to Greek myth, Pandora would tend to get impatient if what she sought to learn didn't come to her right away, mirroring Valeria's characteristics and proving that Valeria was entirely inspired by Pandora. Valeria also has a great craving for knowledge because it gives her more power. Since Jones didn't give her what she wanted, she set off on her own to get what she yearned for. Valeria abandoned the Society without any second thoughts. As soon as she realized that the Society is no longer of any use to her, she simply left with no care at all. All she cares about is acquiring the ancient power within Pandora's box. Heck, she even was excited to see the Society collapse according to dialogue from Hope. As a result, the Society began to falter. With the most powerful boss of the faction now suddenly gone, infighting began taking place amongst the bosses, leaving the Society vulnerable. Jones and Hope, noticing the vulnerability of their enemy, seize the opportunity and initiate their plan of dismantling the Society. Jones, fueled by vengeance, ruthlessly attacks and extracts information from the Society's guards and lieutenants about Peely's whereabouts. With a bit more information from the guards, Hope and Jones make their way towards the bosses, starting with Oscar. After confronting Oscar, the tiger had no clue of Peely's whereabouts. In the questline, Jones and Hope realized that the medallions the bosses possessed would help in their hunt for Peely, so they took Oscar's medallion and left. In dialogue from Hope, she believes that defeating Oscar and taking his power from him might remind him of his roots because he's better off without the society. With that being said, Hope recommended they confront Valeria about Peely next due to her vast knowledge, but confronting Valeria about Peely was in vain. Valeria didn't have the banana and was too focused on her work to care. So once they defeated Valeria, they took her medallion and left. And in dialogue from Hope, she seems greatly concerned about her older sister and what she's planning. Next was Nisha. The two confronted and defeated her, but just like Oscar and Valeria, Nisha too did not have Peely. Before taking Nisha's medallion, Hope states that she's hopeful that Nisha and her brother Cavell will walk away from the society and together rebuild what has been broken. With all three bosses of the society defeated, only one remains: Montague, founder and thief of the society. Jones is convinced that Montague has Peely, and together with Hope, they take down Montague and Jones exacts his vengeance. Jones was right. They found and saved Peely and tore apart Montague's vision for the island right before his eyes. The society has officially crumbled to dust. And that concludes our summary of the Take Down the Society quests. With that out of the way, let's move on to our next question. Who is Odyssey? Odyssey is a new mystifying character who coincidentally arrived on the island shortly after Valeria left the society in her search for Pandora's box. Her NPC bio describes her as an ageless spirit of adventure, and her description reads that she seeks answers about a mysterious mosaic connected to an ancient power. There's a lot more than what meets the eye with this character. Considering she's described as an ageless spirit, this means Odyssey is immortal. Not only is she immortal, but she has great insight and wisdom and seems to possess an unworldly ancient power, indicating that she may possibly be a Greek god under disguise. But which one? After doing some comparing and contrasting, it's safe to say that Odyssey may be the Greek goddess Athena undercover. In Greek mythology, Athena was the goddess of war, reason, and wisdom. Wisdom and reason just like Odyssey, and the war title fits her perfectly because if you take a look at her survey scan, she is dressed just like a warrior getting ready for battle. Nevertheless, Odyssey has secret dialogue with Hope and Valeria where she reveals their destinies and alludes to a possible prophecy about Hope. When wearing the Hope outfit and interacting with the Odyssey NPC, Odyssey says, "Hope, the whispers were true." From that one piece of dialogue alone, you can tell Odyssey was somewhat excited to see Hope, and the whispers Odyssey refers to may be of an unknown prophecy that we are yet to learn of. However, I personally believe that this prophecy may be related to the aftermath of Valeria opening Pandora's box and Hope's involvement with it. Next up is Valeria. In Odyssey's snapshot quest, she said, "There's a woman I thought might be a kindred spirit, Valeria, but she seeks power, not insight." Meaning that Odyssey initially believed Valeria to be just like her and wanted to become friends with her. Unfortunately, upon meeting her, Odyssey saw Valeria's true colors and chose to stay away from her. When you interact with the Odyssey NPC while wearing the Valeria outfit, Odyssey says, "I will not give you the answers you seek. Walk the path you have sought and bear its consequences." After understanding Valeria's true intentions, Odyssey wanted to take no part in her plan of unleashing Pandora's box and left her with a grave warning. Instead, Odyssey is keen on reconstructing a cryptic mosaic and decoding the hidden message behind it. Odyssey knows that what Valeria is getting herself into is dangerous and wants to understand the mosaic before it's too late. However, Odyssey herself already believes that by the time she understands the mosaic, it'll be far too late to do anything. Tying in to our next two questions. What is the mosaic and what is inside Pandora's box? Mosaics are an ancient form of art made of many irregular pieces that help create an image/piece of art. In the mosaic from Fortnite, the art piece bears a warning about an ancient power. That ancient power being none other than the evils and curses contained in the vessel known as Pandora's box, the object that Valeria has been searching for all season. But what does this mosaic depict? Let's break it down. The mosaic depicts what is inside Pandora's box. When looking at the mosaic for the first time, the first thing that will catch your attention is the center. That multi-headed green creature is Cerberus. For those of you who don't know, Cerberus is the guardian of the gates of the underworld in Greek mythology. It guards the gates in order to prevent the souls of the dead from escaping the underworld. And if Cerberus is here, that means his master, Hades, is here as well. But we'll touch on that a bit later. When you look below the three heads, you will see many skulls and hands emerging from the smoke. These skulls and hands represent the souls of the dead who are found in the underworld in Greek mythology. So it's safe to assume that Pandora's box will likely unleash the entire underworld upon the island. And the small flame underneath the souls of the dead in Cerberus is likely Valeria, whose burning ambition and curiosity led to all these evils escaping the box, just like Pandora, whose curiosity got the better of her, opened the box Zeus told her to never open, and unleashed all the curses from within it out into the world. But that's not all the Mosaic depicts. If you take a closer look at the Mosaic, you'll notice that the borders surrounding the depicted evils of Pandora's box are symbols that relate to specific Greek gods. The top corners are symbols of a sun, representing the god of the sun Helios, which is the current codename of the Chapter 5 island. The bottom corners are symbols of a lyre, representing the god of music Apollo. On the sides of the borders are lightning bolts, representing the god of the sky Zeus. And last but not least, on all four sides of the borders are ocean waves, representing the god of the sea Poseidon. With all that in mind, it's possible that next season could be a battle between the Olympian gods and the underworld. The design of Pandora's box can also further back this up, as it has 4 different carvings of Greek mythology beings on it, those murals being Zeus, Ares, Cerberus, and Hades. From what I've noticed, the depiction of Hades and Cerberus both on the Mosaic and on Pandora's box make them look like malevolent forces. This could be indicating that the main antagonistic forces next season may be Hades, Cerberus, and the underworld. Leaving us with one last question: what should we expect in Fortnite Season 2? On Pandora's box is a vibrant orange sphere. Inside the sphere are 8 cycling constellations, each representing a Greek god and 1 creature. On the top row is a lightning bolt, a wolf's head, a crown, and a heart. These constellations symbolize Zeus, Cerberus, Hades, and Aphrodite. On the bottom row is a trident, Medusa's head, a bow and arrow, and a helmet. 3 of those constellations symbolize Poseidon, Medusa, and Ares, but the bow and arrow is kind of tricky. In Greek mythology, there are 2 prominent characters who are known for wielding a bow and arrow, Apollo and Artemis, who are twins. So this constellation could either belong to one of them, or maybe it belongs to both of them. Now, what's so important about these constellations? Well, the importance behind them is that these characters I just listed off will likely be the Battle Pass lineup for next season. They also may be playing key roles in next season's storyline. If you've been on the island recently, you would have noticed that an enormous arm made of magma had emerged from beneath the island with Pandora's box dangling from its wrist. So who does this arm belong to? In Greek mythology, there were beings called Titans, and there were exactly 12 of them. In a leaked survey with many upcoming Fortnite skins, one skin stood out the most. This guy, who many of us believe is a Titan, and if you compare his arm to the arm that is currently sticking out of the ground, they are identical, meaning the skin is the Titan that brought up Pandora's box from the ground. Speaking of Titans, if you haven't noticed already, the Chapter 5 Islands formation was never explained to us. We don't even know what it looks like in space, and I believe there's a reason for that. In Greek myth, one of the 12 Titans was Atlas. Atlas was known for rebelling against Zeus, and for his punishment, he was burdened and condemned to uphold the entire cosmos for all of eternity. With that in mind, I believe the reason why we haven't been shown the outside of the island or explained to how the island was formed is because the Titan Atlas is holding up the entire island, and Fortnite is going to show us that next season. What do you guys think? Do you agree with me on this theory, or do you believe there's another reason why they haven't shown us the outside of the Chapter 5 island yet? As I'm making this video, Pandora's box has been opened, and all the evils once contained in this vessel by Zeus have now been set free once more and are wreaking havoc across the island. Fortnite Season 2 is setting up to be one of the greatest seasons of all time for the storyline, with the rivalry between the Olympian gods and the underworld. Thank you all for watching. Consider using my code Rezztro and purchasing the Battle Pass for next season, and see you guys in the next one. Take care.